Hey guys, before we get into this video, I just want to share a couple things with you. Here's a couple bets that we had from last week. Here's one that we had. That's a pretty good one. And here's another one that we had. This one was obviously had Hockett by points. That was a round robin that I cashed out early on before the Hockett fight. Left like $700 on the table. Fucked up. And then obviously here's another one too from 2 weeks ago. That's almost 45x. So pay attention to these videos and definitely watch them. Welcome back to the Us vs. Them MMA channel. I'm your host Vince, and we're going to break down the next fight we have for UFC Winnipeg. We got Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Karine Silva. Right now, Jasmine Jasudavicius is sitting at a minus 310 favorite, and Silva on the other side is at plus 250. We've seen the line shift just a little bit throughout the week. Shift more towards Silva, but it's been pretty stable throughout the week. So obviously we got Jasudavicius on the one side. It's a pretty sizable favorite. Jasudavicius is the Canadian in this fight, so obviously the crowd's going to get behind her. I think that's going to be big in this fight because you're going to want to win between these two fighters. The fighter that's going to win is going to be the one that has the bigger moments. And with Jasudavicius on the one side, having a hometown advantage, she should have, the crowd behind her every time she lands a pop. Whereas Silva on the other side is going to, when she touches her, it's going to be more silent. You're not going to get as much of a reaction. So if it comes to a closer fight like that and you're kind of splitting hairs trying to figure out who's winning rounds, the hometown fighter definitely could get the edge on that. Between these two fighters, I think Jasudavicius is the bigger fighter. She's obviously got the bigger frame. She's the bigger fighter, taller fighter. But I think she also has a physicality advantage. And in WMMA, that really carries you a long way. If you're the fighter that's just more physical, more aggressive, more willing to push the pace than the other one. Obviously, that works for just men's MMA too, but it plays a little bit bigger of a factor in WMMA. These girls it doesn't seem like they're able to be. I'm not trying to be offensive at all, but like maybe crafty enough, or I don't know what it is, but physicality just seems like it plays a bigger factor. And Jasudavicius is the more physical of the two, so I'm leaning more towards her, obviously, and so is the lines. Obviously, like I said, Jasudavicius is more aggressive of the two. So on the feet, that's going to help her, and land, helping her find the opportunities to land her strikes. But it's also going to leave her open to for Silva to land her counter shots, and just when she's coming in, just land shots in general. So the more aggressive that Jasudavicius is going to be, the more opportunities that we're going to see Silva have on the other side. So it's kind of a double-edged sword for her. It's kind of it's not impossible, but it's pretty easy to see which side's going to play out, which side's going to play out in favor of. Which like I said, I'm leaning more towards Jasmine on this one. This one's kind of hard to predict as far as finding a method of victory. When it comes to WMMA, you tend to lean towards the fights go to decision because they typically do more. Statistically, they go to decision more often. So you lean towards that, but then you look at these girls and they have a bunch of finishes between the two of them, between knockouts and submissions both. So they both get a lot of finishes. So it makes you kind of want to lean towards that route and see if there's opportunities there. But when I do that, I'm like, all right, but then you got Jasudavicius, who doesn't really get finished a lot. I know she just got finished by Manon Fiorot, but Karine Silva is not Manon Fiorot. She don't have that kind of power. She's not gonna find those body shots like that. She's just not gonna do that to her. And then Silva on the other side, she's not gonna get finished herself. I don't think. I'm not seeing her get finished in this fight. Silva hasn't been finished since 2017 when she was only like in her early 20s, and that was before she was on the regional scene. So she hasn't been finished in the UFC, and I don't really know if Jasmine's going to get it done, finish her this weekend. The most likely outcome in this fight is Jasmine to get it done by decision. Like I've already said that, and that's at minus 140 right now. I don't really see, even though it's a really likely outcome, I don't really see any value in sprinkling that in any of your parlays. I would fade that one pretty hard. If you want to take a shot, like I said, we take long shots here. There's some okay value in Silva getting it done by KO or submission. Silva does have some KO power. Like I said, she's got some KOs in her record, and she also has some finishes too by submission in the UFC. I haven't seen it in a while, but her getting it done this weekend by finish is sitting at plus 500. There's some decent value in that. And then you got Jasudavicius on the other side of this. Her just to get it done by just submission. That's sitting at plus 550. She's going to have the crowd hyping her up. She could find herself in a dominant position, and if she just pushes the pace a little bit, she could get a submission. So no, I wouldn't put that completely off the table. But to be honest with you, when I'm looking for value on this fight, I feel like I'm kind of squeezing the bottom of the barrel a little bit. So this one is a little bit easier to fade. I appreciate you guys watching this to the end. Stop by for my next video where we're going to break down the first fight of the main card. We got Thiago Moises versus Gage Young. That fight is going to be sick. It's got banger written all over that. So stop by for that fight. Thanks for watching to the end, and I'm out of here. See ya.